This is the Geometry Semester 1 midterm review. We're looking at the last page. So we're going to use this rule, which is a translation rule. We can tell that by the way we have x minus 5, y plus 8. What is the image? What is the new shape if we apply the rule to this? So we're going to say 3 minus 5 equals negative 2. Y, which is 2. So we're going to say 2 plus 8, which is 10. So our new image is going to be negative 2, comma 10. What is the pre-image? That means what is the spot before this? So if we take our x minus the 5 and equal it to the negative 4, add 5 to both sides, we know that we would have had to start at 1. And if we take y plus 8, that's the rule, but it's going to land at 1. When we subtract 8, we know that we must have started at negative 7. So our original point, which is called the pre-image, would not have a tick mark above it, so it's just point B, is 1 comma negative 7. The vertices for triangle ABC are negative 1, 1, 4, negative 1, and 2, 4. We graph the pre-image. Now we're going to graph and label. If we do this rule to it, this is a translation rule. We're going to take all the points, move 4 to the left, and 2 down. So that is now C prime. 4 to the left and 2 down. That's A prime. 4 to the left and 2 down. That's B prime. Okay? A translation is considered a rigid transformation because it does not change the size or the shape. Let's see, I actually connected to the wrong point. I put my points correct, but I should go up there. Okay, so we have A prime, which is 4 less than this, which is negative 5, 2 less than that, which is negative 1. B prime, 4 less than that is 0, 2 less than that is negative 3. And C prime, 4 less than that is negative 2, 2 less than that is 2. It's a rigid transformation because the size and shape does not change. Translations are a rigid transformation because the size and shape do not change, just its location. For number 31, we have triangle A prime, B prime, and let's see. This should be C prime. So triangle A prime, B prime, C prime is the image of triangle ABC. So what is the translation rule for getting there? Look at the A. How did the x's change to get over there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left. 1, 2, 3 up. So x comma y, 5 to the left, so it's x minus 5, and y plus 3. That would be the rule. A translation rule from the image, from the pre-image to the image. Let's try this one. We're going to go 2 to the right for A, and down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. B should also go to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. To the right for C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. So our xy is doing x plus 2 because you're going 2 to the right, and we're going 5 down. Find the coordinates of the image. So this is our original point. If we reflect over the x-axis, we have the point -5, 4. If we reflect over the x-axis, we're now going to be here. This is P, this is P prime. The only value to change is the y value. So we're going to be at -5, -4. The rule for that is x comma y, arrow, x, -y. Only the y value is going to adjust. If we reflected over the y-axis, we'd be over here. So the rule is, if we're going to just move horizontally, is that the x value is changing. So we get 5 comma 4 for P prime. We could call this P prime. When we reflect over the line y equals x, and you have the point -5, 4, we're going to reflect it perpendicularly. When we do that, the rule for that is y equals x. So we're just going to switch the y and the x. So our new shape in this case is going to be 4, -5. And if we're reflecting over the line y equals -x, and you have this point -5, 4, when we reflect over it, remember you reflect over it perpendicularly, the rule you switch them because y equals -x, y equals -x. That means that the x is going to be -y. They're exact opposites of each other, of what the original was. So it's 5, let's see, we had to switch them. I didn't switch them at first. -4 switching would become +5. Switch the 4 to become first, change the sign. Switch the -5 second and change the sign. So that would be my P prime for that case. We're going to graph the reflection. So we have this line, or this, it's a quadrilateral. It's hard to see, but you've got your points there. And we're supposed to reflect it over the x-axis. So we count the distance it takes to get to the x-axis and count that same distance past it. 1, 2, 3, 4 to get to the x-axis, 1, 2, 3, 4 to get past it. Same thing for B. So we have D prime, C prime, B prime, and A prime. That's reflecting it over the x-axis. So our coordinates in this case, A prime, -4, 1, B prime, -4, 4, C prime, -2, 4, and D prime is -2, 1. If we had the y-axis, which is going straight up and down, this is your y-axis. Maybe here I could have said that this is your x-axis. This is our y-axis. The C and C prime aren't going to be any different. The A, we count 3 over, so we go 3 past it. 3 over, so we go 3 past it. So this is A prime, B prime, and C prime. Our A prime, 3 over, 3 up. 3 over, nothing up. 0 over, 2 up. This last one, we're going to reflect over the line y equals x. So that means we're going to count we got to count perpendicular to that line. Since the line goes through halves, right through the half of the square, we have to go perpendicularly half. So 1 and a half, so a half and 1. We're going to count diagonally also. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we reflected that. So we have C prime, B prime, and A prime. So our A is going to be 3 to the left and 1 down. B prime, 4 to the left and 2 up. And C prime, 0 right and left, 3 up. Find the coordinates of the image. If this is our original. The rule for rotating 90 degrees. This is going to be counterclockwise. Is to switch them and change the sign on the left. So we're going to switch them. Which puts the 52 first. We change its sign. We put the -13 second, and we do not change its sign. 180. We just apply this rule again. We switch them and change the sign on the left again. So now 90 and 90 make the 180 rule. So our P prime, the X and the Y are going to be in the same order, but we change its sign. So the -13 becomes a positive, and the positive 52 becomes a negative. 270. We're going to do the rule again. We're going to switch them. So we're going to put the -y first and put the -x second. But we have to change the sign of the first one, so it does another 90-degree rotation. So this is the rule for 270 degrees counterclockwise. So we're going to switch them and put the 52 first, put the 13 second, and we change the negative into a positive. So that's P prime. Last two questions. Determine whether the transformation for figure A to figure B is a translation, which means it's a slide, a reflection, that means it's flopping, like you can fold the paper to line it up, or a rotation, where we would have to turn the paper. So in this case, we start here, we're reflecting, it's a reflection over the X, whoops, not the X-axis, it's a reflection over the Y-axis. Your figure is going from left to right, it's over the Y-axis, not up and down, which is over the X-axis. Here, it's a little tricky to be able to tell. It's not a reflection right and left, it's not a reflection up and down. And if you notice, see how your triangle's pointing downwards? If we rotate the paper, the triangle now is pointing up. So, to help determine if this is a rotation, we look at the second triangle, and is it pointing up? No, it's not. It's slid over. So it's over and down. It's a translation. And the rule for this translation, it looks like, would be, these are going by units of 1 over and 2 up and down, maybe. 1, 2 and a half. 1, 2 and a half. It kind of looks like that's what that rule would be. But they're just asking us to identify if it's a translation, reflection, or rotation. It's a translation to the right and down.